Hello, in this activity we're going to connect a multimeter into our circuit. This time we're going to look at current, so we're going to use our multimeter as an ammeter. So here's our multimeter, and you can see that we have an amps DC scale down here, and we're going to use the 200 milliamp setting. We've got 3 sockets on our multimeter, one marked COM, and we always put a lead into COM. We're also going to use this middle socket here marked volts, ohms and milliamps. When we're using an ammeter in a circuit, we always connect it in series. So what I'm going to do first is connect our ammeter between our second and third bulb holder. I'm going to disconnect the lead here, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to connect it to the volts, ohms and milliamp socket. And I'm going to connect a lead here from the COM socket of our multimeter to this terminal of our second bulb holder. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to switch our multimeter to the 200 milliamp setting, and then I'm going to switch our circuit on. So you can see that our circuit works, and we have a reading here of 60.1 milliamps. Next, I'm going to connect our multimeter between the first and second bulb. So I'm going to disconnect this lead, move the multimeter up. I'm going to connect the lead back into this socket from the third bulb. So that means that our circuit is now complete. And then I'm going to disconnect the lead here, and that's going to go into our volts, ohms and milliamp socket, and I'm going to connect this lead from our COM socket into this terminal here. I'm going to switch our multimeter on. So now we're on the 200 milliamp setting. Now we have a reading of 115.1 milliamps. So if I disconnect our multimeter, connect it back to the bulb. So lastly, I'm going to put our multimeter between our first bulb holder to the switch. So I'm going to disconnect this lead here so that we know now that we're going from our bulb holder, and I'm going to connect that to our volts, ohms and milliamp socket, and then I'm going to connect the lead from the COM socket into this terminal of our switch here. If I switch our switch on, you can see that our circuit works, and we have 166.7 milliamps. I can put our ammeter between our switch and our battery bank 2. So let's try that. So if I disconnect our lead here, I put our multimeter here. So we need to connect this lead back from our bulb holder to this terminal of our switch. We can connect this lead into our volts, ohms and milliamp socket and connect it to our switch, and we can connect our COM socket here to our black negative terminal of our battery bank. So if I flick our switch, we have a reading here of 167.6 milliamps. So you can see that our reading has changed as we've put our ammeter throughout our parallel circuit. This time our current is shared across the various different components.